Hello everyone and welcome to Backseat VR Developer here on UploadVR. It is the show where we are playing all of our favorite virtual reality titles right alongside the developers that have created them. It's good to see you. My name is Alex VR. I am one half of Between Realities. The other half is right here. It's my buddy Skeeva. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? Super excited for some Pixel Ripped 1995 today.
Here we are. I am already inside the world of Pixel Ripped 1995, and joining us today, the developer of Pixel Ripped series, right? Ana Ribeiro from Arvory. Hello, Ana.
Yeah, nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me, guys.
Yes, thank
Excited, that's it. I don't know this game. I'm looking forward to see you guys play.
Do you often get to see people play the game? Do you watch people play the game very much?
Yeah, but it's usually when we play testing. Of course, we watch it. We watch online after we release the game. All the videos that came online is like a blast to watch people playing. But usually when we do it something like that we are together with the persons when we play testing. And we're just looking for bugs and feedback. It's not so exciting. It's good to just chill and see the game. It's released already, so
right.
don't have to worry.
This is a beautiful aesthetic. I think anybody who lived through this era just loves these colors, loves the neons and stuff, and that menu there is quite lovely. This is nice.
Yeah, that was Marco's pen. He's like a badass artist we have in the company. He's really good at special effects. Almost, I don't know what he doesn't do well. He does 3D, 2D. He's really good. He did incredible work on that menu.
So this is the second game in the Pixel Ripped series, right? This is 95, and the first one was Pixel Ripped 1989. What was the difference between the teams for the two games? How many people worked on 1995?
There is a lot of difference. The 1989, it was a longer project. I started as me kind of. It moved from a student project, and then I started working kind of alone. Had friends helping me, but on Unity I was kind of alone for 3 years, and then I finally got together with Arvory, and then we worked for 1 year more to finish the game and then release it. Then I had a team dedicated, but before it was really hard to complete such a complex game. I think the biggest difference, apart from the time that took to deliver in 1989 and all the crazy journey, right, and stable indie journey, I think the biggest change in the team is that 1995 had a narrative designer. And a narrative designer doesn't just write the dialogues. It designs the game together with the game designer. So it's all about telling the story, the narrative with the gameplay, with the environments, with the whole game. It's kind of really connected to the game design in the team. So that's the biggest difference. You can notice that 1989, the narrative, it's not really well worked. I had someone helping me when I was a student, and then afterwards I had no one look into the narrative, and I wrote all the dialogues, but there was no one focused on the narrative, right? In 1995, we had in the team Barbara from you, which was amazing, and everyone talks about how well the narrative developed in 1995 in comparison to 1989. I think that's the biggest difference. Yeah. Of course, the game started from the ground in Arvory, so I had a team from the day one to the end, so it was more stable development. But yeah, I think that's the big difference. And all the projects in Arvory now, we have in the core teams a narrative designer, and I think that's what makes the games very different, the games we do.
You must love this scene, right? It's like looking in the mirror.
Yeah. Man, that mirror was I had kind of to prioritize this because it was always was so hard to get a mirror in the game, to manage to prioritize this with the team. And there was a moment that I said, okay, I'm gonna make it, and I'm gonna get 2 days and I'm gonna do it, and that's it. It was just it was hard to put in the game, but then after everyone saw it, everyone like, oh yeah, this is special, we need this.
Yeah, like
Because
helps you embody Dot a little bit, you know?
Yeah. On 1989, we had a mirror in the corner of the room, but it was just in the corner when you play in the first level. I don't know if you remember, there's like a mirror. That mirror, I put that mirror when I was in a party and I was drinking. I don't think it was the best way.
You were at a party
But,
drinking and working on your game?
Yes. I don't.
And
I
that's
don't
how you become
say, I'm
successful.
not saying this is good. But then now when there is a feature like that, we have a meeting together. It's not like that anymore. But I prioritize a prototype and then I show them. It has been much better these days. No, of course, the best ideas come sometimes when you're relaxing, you're drinking with the team, but then you shouldn't just go and do it.
I love this. Hours of gaming. Like 19 quadrillion, 457 billion. Like ridiculously huge number of hours gaming.
More hours than he can probably be alive.
Yeah, definitely. This game definitely, I don't know. I mean, I'm familiar with Pixel Ripped, right? Like I've been a huge fan of the series from the beginning, and the magic of this series for me is like just, I don't know, it's almost like between realities, right? It's like how many different realities you're experiencing at the same time, you know? Like it's the blend of the 2D gameplay with the 3D environment, and I don't know, it's kind of a magical and novel experience. I think you've really done something quite beautiful here.
Thank you. I think this game, more than any other Pixel, it's a lot about nostalgic memories, and we try to work a lot on that, knowing that our audience, this is their childhood. 1995 is the childhood of our audience. We kind of focus in making this really about nostalgic memories. We even have a talk that we did for GDC. It's really good with the whole team, and we talk about how we work in each area of the game to increase the immersion with the nostalgic memories. It's really interesting.
Like, did everyone have a kid like this in their life? I think that they did. Like, everyone had that kid who just talked crap.
Yeah, this is we all of us start brainstorming and sharing experience that we had as a kid playing games. And I had a neighbor. I bring this like a memory of this neighbor that had a Nintendo and I had a Sega Genesis. He was a pain in the ass. And the game designer said, I had also a neighbor. And he used to say that his uncle works on Nintendo. So we kind of put together and make Michael a character. There's a lot of other things in the game that also came from memories that we all share. So we thought if we have inside the team, many of us have similar memories, probably the audience will also have similar memories, right?
It's pretty amazing because, like I said, I feel like I had this kid in my life, and we lived on different parts of the planet.
Yeah, that's one of the things that makes Pixel Rip so special is we all have so many of these same shared memories of playing these older consoles, having a blast, having that bully kid that just annoyed you, and like, just, yeah, this game is a nostalgia, just nostalgia heaven.
I appreciate the accuracy of the button presses on the animations of your hands too. Like, if I watch my left hand in game, it is absolutely going on the D-pad where my thumb is on the controller, and like that's jamming B, that's jamming A. It looks perfect.
we have both at the same time. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. And you need to see which button you press. You need to be sure you're inside. If you look down, you see yourself in pajamas. I think that's a big nostalgic feeling right there, even for people that didn't play games but remember sitting in the living room in front of the TV. It's some people even said like, "Wow, I remember my parents," or some people said, "I didn't have parents," but it's good to see how it was. It's crazy the feedbacks we get.
We love
all the YouTubers
all
there.
Of these are the best. GT.
That's great that you included some people in there. I think that's fantastic.
That's very nice.
Yeah, we always try to do things like that. I think Pixel Rip, it's a game from the community. It's so old now. It's gonna be almost 2024 is going to be 10 years since I started.
Jeez.
Since I put a Pixel Rift on the when it was Pixel Rift on the Oculus Share. Yeah, I think if you look at back, it's kind of one of the only games that's still alive from that period. There is not many games that survive. Even if Valkyrie, I heard it's kind of they're gonna shut down the server. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a few games like that just aren't able to keep it going. But Pixel Rift is special to a lot of people because it really brings them back to their childhood and really good special times in their life. So you guys nailed it.
Yeah, and the environments, they really are immersive. Like that scene where mom kicks down the door while I'm playing. I was playing Pixel Rift just for fun this last week, and I was trying really hard to get all these golden cartridges, and I swear, multiple times in a row, I was caught off guard and startled when that door flew open. Because I'm just zoned in on this in front of me, and I kind of forget that I'm in a room in VR while playing this game. So all of a sudden, boom, that door flew open, and it felt like someone opened the door to the room that I was sitting in. It startled me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that way we started. One thing important to this to happen is that we have to make the gameplay in the 2D game interesting enough that you forget the real world you are inside, your real world, which is it's the VR world,
right.
And you kind of your brain is focused on the game so much that you feel comfortable enough that you believe you are there, and that's when we can make things like surprise the player with someone entering or someone asking you to do something. You're like, what?
Yep.
And it's a thing we call the game within a game. Which is one of the pillars of the game. We have 3 pillars: the game within a game, which is this, the nostalgic memories, and the 3rd pillar, which is the most elegant, we call the what the f*** moments. we tried, but this is the best name we came with. It's the moment when the characters explode, or you have footballers jump in the window, and you're like, what the f***? So for this surprise to happen, you need to have an immersion that you believe you are inside that place, to be surprised, when things like that happen.
Well, to be honest, when I think about playing Pixel Rift in my head, I don't often think about this, right? What I am thinking about is that. I think about the actual game that I was playing while I was playing Pixel Rift, less the room and the environments, even though when I think about it, I'm like, oh, wait a second. No, that is Pixel Rift. It's just the environments are every bit of Pixel Rift as much as this is. But when I think about it, my memories of Pixel Rift really do bring me to this TV screen.
Mm-hmm.
I find that pretty interesting.
This is good. Yeah, it's because you're so immersed on that game that you believe you were in that living room and that you are a child. That's the crazy part about it. And, but we try to make things that that is a world, but it's kind of, you have these moments of you can focus in the game, but then there's these moments that pull you off and show you, hey, you are in VR, there's this world here. So it's not so tiring to the brain to have too much going on in both worlds. It's really hard. So we keep that moment for the we call mixed reality on the boss battles.
Yes.
When you have both worlds together and characters come out.
Which we will see here soon.
Can you tell us, Ana, what platforms people can get this game on?
So it's on PlayStation, on Steam, and on Quest. All major platforms. We are on Pico Neo too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So you can pretty much play this anywhere. Right now we're playing this on PC, on Steam, using a Valve Index with the Index controllers. So that works awesome. I have also played this personally on the Quest 2 and on the PlayStation VR. It's just so good on every single platform. I really like on the PlayStation VR how the controller is tracked. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's such a cool feeling, actually moving the controller, and it's in your hand and you can move it around and it reflects in the game as well.
Touching touching a controller, holding a controller in your hands when you have a controller. I think it's the most immersive controller we have for this game because it's actually a controller in your hand, and your hands are together holding a joystick.
This is one of the few games I really prefer to play on the PSVR.
How does the controller work with that? Because here I actually have two hands, right? Like they're separate. I can grab this and, throw that, and now I go back.
It was a lot of work, but we have to do a totally different system. But it basically, when you want to grab something, you kind of you kind of move your hand out of the controller, and then your hand is tracked.
Okay.
But then when you want to go back to gaming, you kind of go back to the hand track. You track the movement of your hand holding the controller, but then when you want to grab something, you kind of detach your hand, and that hand grabs the movement of the controller.
I see.
So you can grab stuff.
Is there like
it was hard to come with a design. We kind of make a playtest just for that. We couldn't use the sticker, the PlayStation. We call lollipops. I don't know how you guys call it. the PlayStation one. I call lollipop. We couldn't use it because it doesn't have a D-pad.
Right. Or
and doesn't
buttons.
have a joystick. It's separate, but yeah, it didn't work.
There are some buttons, yeah, but they're not ideal. It's not an ideal situation. What's your favorite platform to play this on?
Me?
Yeah.
I would say the Quest because it's the only one I can carry now with me,
Right.
living in a nomad life. It's just easy to carry around. It's the only headset I have with me now, actually. It's sad because I left a lot of stuff in Brazil, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can leave pack light. I have all my life in one suitcase.
Yeah, you've been traveling like all over the globe this year. It's been pretty inspiring to watch, honestly.
So 30 days in 5 countries, the last 30 days. But yeah, keep working. We are actually working on the next Pixel Rip game for almost a year now. We can't say the name yet. We're gonna announce soon. But
But we could maybe guess it, right? Like we could just guess. And I mean, I'm not going to, but I could guess it.
And that is actually the year of this game is hidden on 1995. You can find the numbers hidden in the game. It's really hard, but some people manage to find. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes.
I did notice there's something really cool here. So I didn't have enough pixels to get into the secret door that's in this room, but there's a secret door that requires 30 pixels to get into, and then when you get in there, there's this like maze of rooms that is pretty much.
Do you know what is the map?
Yes, I do. That's what I'm getting to. So it's pretty awesome because without instructions, there is literally no way you're getting through that room. It's impossible. But I started looking around because I realized that there must be some kind of clue around here, and I found this piece of paper with these like Cheeto stains and stuff all over it. And right there on the back, there's the arrows for the way that you need to navigate the dungeon. You go right, up, left, down, left, whatever. Oh no! Mom!
Oh no.
But anyway, I love that. I love how there's like a code just sitting there on this page. This is like how we had codes as kids. I remember going to the gas station and finding Tips and Tricks magazine, which was a magazine that had all of the cheat codes for all of the games listed in it. And I couldn't afford to get the magazine, so I would run in there with like a pen and a little piece of scribble paper and like jot down as many codes as I could for the games that I owned before my parents like finished paying for gas.
It's something that you would do that time. There was no internet, so I remember like playing Battletoads with my brother. We would write it down in the paper, jump, go down, go up, jump, go down, and then someone would play and they would be like telling the other like go up, go down, go up, go down. It's something really that is something is hidden there. Oh,
we got that.
So, the secrets.
So I think if I remember correctly, you can get Pixel Rip 1989 as a DLC, right?
Oh
on Quest on 1995, right?
That happened because we couldn't release 1989 in a proper way, so that's kind of was the way we found it to release 1989.
Smart.
And yeah, it was like the way we found it on the system that we couldn't and you don't need improvement. So if anyone has, we try to make it. We always like to make cross-platform, cross-buy. Sorry, but then when you did this, there's no way we could do cross-buy. We had to kind of tell players, hey, if you have 1999 on PC, you want the DLC, you just message us. So we have a channel on Discord where players come and just send a screenshot of the game on the library, and then we send a key for the DLC. It's a pain, but it was the only way we found it to release this game on the Quest. I think we're still gonna try in the future. I wanna try again to release it the proper way because I think it deserves maybe in the future like an upgrade or make like a version of the game where we use the hand tracking.
Yeah.
Because
Ooh, that'd be
1989 is old, right? It's used gaze a lot because when I started this game, there was no controllers, there was no tracked controllers.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
I'm
So we
hoping-
had to use the gaze to grab stuff, and now we have so much more that we could improve in the game. If this happens, we're gonna try probably again, release it on Quest.
So there's definitely like a little story here, right? Like I just got duped by the Cyblin Lord posing to be the master, and a bunch of stuff is gonna happen. You mentioned that you had a like a narrative director for Pixel Rip 1995. How much personally were you influencing like the story? Like did they like run it all by you and say, hey, we were thinking Cyblin Lord could do this, and you were like, oh no, that's definitely not happening in my game, this is what's going to happen? Anything like that kind of would happen?
Oh, we have in the company something called the core team, which is the team that I love the team to come together with ideas, and we like to keep the whole team creative, even the developers, which in most companies developers are just executing code and stuff in the big companies. On our team, we like everyone in the core team to participate with creative decisions, but of course the narrative comes and the decisions the last one to decide is the narrative designer and the director. I'm kind of having but we never had this problem where I had to kind of fight or something. We kind of was it felt like more like we kind of evolving ideas. I'm really close to the game designers and the narrative designers. I think it's really hard to separate direction from game design. So I kind of really close to them on the decisions. On this moment, for example, she had this idea of, okay, she's gonna become this little beetle queen when you defeat the boss. And I was like, oh, that's great. What if it just dies and when he sees a light because it's a little mosquito?
No. Beetle Queen.
And then she loved it. And then we kind of spoke to the artist and put a light and
Beetle Queen,
and we did
no!
this.
No!
And it just kills herself. It's just, I think it's more like a creative process where we are involving ideas. So it's really great if you compare to 1989, which I was most of the time alone, and I would just go, which I kind of think I evolved as a director, because at the beginning I was like, I'll just go do it, like the first Mirror, right? Because I was used to be alone. And now with the team, I'm kind of like, it's stupid to miss out the opportunity of so many talented people to get one idea and go farther, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
but this is, at the end of the day, this is your baby, right? Like,
it is.
You're like letting people like make creative decisions
but
with your
it's
baby.
Now their baby too. They love the project so much that I'm so lucky that they also love the project like theirs, and I really want them to feel this. So I really appreciate that they really got into the project, that they also feel like it's their baby too. And I think that's kind of why this game it's so much better than 1989 in many ways. I feel like you kind of have a team from the beginning to the end, and you couldn't get all these different minds thinking and doing the project. In this scene, for example, the artist did this skybox with the bugs, and we want this place to be crushed and buggy.
Yeah, it's really good. I love like how those models are just changing. Like, anyone who's seen an old school game glitch out has seen that.
this was me. I was looking. I'm like, can I try something short? And I did one character going, and I show him. It's like, yeah, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm. There's the
So,
old dot model there.
You know what's absolutely wild about the Pixel Rip games is that most developers, they find their game mechanics and they dial them in, and the whole game is based on pretty much the same mechanics. But in the Pixel Rip games, there are so many different types of game mechanics, from sitting in front of a TV playing an old 16-bit game to something like this, to that boss fight we just saw where everything comes out of the screen and is in the living room. Now we're going to in an arcade which has different types of games. It is nuts how many types.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I can't imagine how you guys pulled all of these off, because you do every one of them very, very well.
Right. This is first person. Like here it is. It's first person and third person, like 2D at the exact same time. You know, it is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, there are two separate scenes with two different game designs. We have to kind of separate, make two games. We're building. It feels like we're building so many games. This game was so much work, like you said. If you see the variety of gameplay, it's insane. Like, we did a top-down game on level 1. Now here it's gonna be platform, and there's 2 games. But then the interactions of the real world change. You have like a different mechanic here where you get items from one world to the other game, then you pass to the other game. So, and this is used just on this level, which is sad. We should use it more.
It is cool.
But then I think that we did a lot of variety, but I feel like we have because we wanted to represent all that era. So there is arcades, there is top-down, but we didn't make it like, for example, the Streets of Rage reference when you play in the beat 'em up game. It's not like a great beat 'em up because it's one level. If we done the whole game in a beat 'em up, okay, it would be great. But then because we did so many different genres, I feel there is many things we wanted to polish, but we couldn't because it was just insane. Like many people, it would be great if you dodge shoot up. It's like, yeah, but there was no time. And the Streets of Rage, I wanted that you could grab a barrel and throw it, which is a classic from a beat 'em up game, but it just, we couldn't. We have to prioritize, and what we did was, okay, people is gonna have a glimpse of these genres. It's not gonna be the best, but you get the sensation of all those different genres and environments, right?
You know what? I think honestly, my favorite aspect of this game, and in the VR scene especially, is the soundtrack. Like, the music is so good in this game. I cannot believe it. Like, you must have been so excited when you started hearing tracks for this.
It is on Spotify, on Steam too. You can download for free, and it's called the team who did it's called Moon Sailor. And the cool thing about it is that they created a team to make the soundtrack for Pixel Rip. It was the first time they worked together, and the director Langoni, got the whole team together to make Pixel Rip, and they enjoy it so much, and they keep making music for games, and now they have been doing for years. And
wow.
It's amazing. Yeah,
that's so cool.
And we're working with them again now in the next game. They're really good. Like, every song they send, it was hard to give a feedback because it was so perfect that
right.
I feel like I had to give some feedback because it's so good.
Yeah, all the variations of all the songs, you know, like it's ridiculously good. And there's like themes that kind of like weave throughout the game, and I get these songs just stuck in my head, and I don't think there's another VR game that the music gets stuck in my head from. Like, I can't think of one.
It also plays on a Sega Genesis console. This is crazy, but they actually made it record the whole soundtrack into a cartridge, and they put it in the console, and it plays in the Sega Genesis. It plays the soundtrack. So,
awesome. That's incredible.
So they really put a lot of work and make sure, okay, that's how it sounds. That's how a Sega Genesis would sound. That's how an arcade would sound. So there's all this concern about the TV and different TVs, and it's incredible the work they do.
Anna, when did
really good.
when did you know you wanted to make video games for a living? Especially in
That
VR.
video games was when I was doing a preparation course for open my pie business. And I was, I think I was like 29, 28, 27 or something like that. I was working at the Justice Fund, so I had a degree in psychology. I played games, but I never thought in making games. It's a stupid thing, but we never think much of the things we like. We can actually work with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With the hobbies. And it was a blast because I was going to open this pie shop, and I'm glad I did it. And I got the money from the pie shop, and I changed my life from zero. This was 2010, and then I moved to England. I did 1 year of games programming, and I learned everything from scratch. I didn't know anything about programming, nothing. And then I managed to go to a game design master's degree in game design at the NFTS, which is the National Film and Television School in England. And that was a 2 years course, and Pixel Rift was my final project. This is back in 2014. Yeah, it was a student project. My plan when I started this game was to make 5 levels, each one in a different era. And then my teacher was like, this is a little ambitious. Maybe you should make a vertical slice. A little ambitious? You joking?
You gotta dream big.
And when I was at the university, there was a student before me. He did a project with the Oculus DK1. And I tried it out. This was 2013, and I was like, oh my God, I need to get this. This is amazing. And then he showed me where you could buy it. And this is DK1. It's a long time. And then I got the DK1, and I wanted every project to make in VR. I was like so excited to do everything with VR. And then I remember I wanted to do a project before Pixel Rift, which was a narrative story-driven game project that we had to do. But then my director was like, no, there is no way we can tell narrative with VR. You can't move the camera. And he was really, no, you cannot use... but now he changed his mind.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure he's singing a different tune at this point.
Yeah, but I remember he was, no. And then when we have the opportunity to make the final project, you can make it the way you want it. The university gives you the freedom. And I knew it, I wanted to make with VR. But I was looking for an idea that could fit well and it couldn't have been done without VR. You know, I wanted to do something that it could use the best of this new media and not just like put a VR camera, which was something that was happening a lot at the time. And then I had a dream with Pixel Rift, and it was a crazy dream. I have a lot of conscious dreams that I remember afterwards what I dreamed. And this one, I was playing a game on the I was sitting in a couch and I was playing a game on the TV, and this game was like Atari graphics, and that game was evolving, and every time the game evolved, the whole living room was pixelating and evolving graphics too, until there was a moment everything was like realistic. And I woke up with that idea, the evolution of the industry. How cool is seeing a game evolving and changing like we saw in the 80s? Like I love the way it was like to see Mario evolving, to see Link and Mega Man, and to kind of follow those games and see those consoles evolving so much. And I think this is never gonna happen like the way it did in the 80s. So I wanted to do something like a time machine that people could go back in time and experience games the way it was. So VR was the perfect fit. So I started, the game started with that feeling. That was the spark. And then it changed a lot. The moment of the boss battle, for example, when the characters come out the TV, that was a bug that happened. My plan wasn't to do that, but then...
Really?
No, I forgot to tell the character, the 2D character, to don't draw on the outside world, because you have to tell the camera. So to the player camera, don't see the character. All these worlds, the characters are in this same environment, but you just see them through the render tester in the TV. Your camera cannot see them. And I forgot to tell this, and I pressed play and I was jumping with Dot, and then I see Dot huge in the living room, like this pixelated character in the living room, and I was like, wow, this is amazing, I love this, and I was so excited about this, and it was a bug.
There is something
Wow, that's so
incredibly
cool.
novel about like 2D pixelated graphics in a virtual environment. Like, I don't know what it is, but there is something very novel about it.
Well, we are
Yeah.
we are over time here, Alex. What are you thinking?
I mean, I think it's probably a good time. You know, we're about to leave the video store here, so I mean, I could sit here and
Get
do
the
this
game?
all day, though, man, because I love this game. I grew up playing retro games. I love VR, and this is the perfect blend. So I'm really happy that we had the chance to play this with you here, Anna, and get some of your insight and feedback as we're playing through the game. So thank you so much for
That was
joining
great.
us, Anna.
Thanks for having me. It was great to just talk with you guys, share all this crazy experience, how it's developing those games. It's not easy, there's a lot to talk. This is a conversation for a bar, like having a pint
Yeah.
all night conversation.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let's take a rain check for that. Okay, we'll make sure that happens the next time that we get together and chat, or maybe we'll have a new game to play here for Backseat VR Developer in the near future, or somewhat near future.
Yeah,
right?
I hope so. We are working on that.
Yeah. Well, please keep working and keep doing everything that you're doing, because you've definitely made some fans out of us. Thank you, everyone, for watching Backseat VR Developer today here on Upload. Again, I'm Alex VR with Between Realities.
And I'm Skeeva.
And that's Skeeva. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you for the next episode.
All right, bye bye.
Going home now.